Human services is, in its simplest form, any type of help or aid that could be to anyone.
Whether you're working with an individual or if you're working with a family or you're advocating for a community.
It's the study of systems and kind of how interpersonal and group and family and societal systems all work together.
Helping people learn about their own inner strengths and their resources and what type of tools that they're going to need in order to solve their problems.
We don't look at problems necessarily as something that individuals are doing, but sometimes a function of the systems they're immersed in, like poverty, because that's sort of a requirement of our economic system, that some people will have more and others will have less. So our students learn how to look at the problems that people have as individuals, but they also look at how systems cause the problems of individuals.
I've just really learned how to kind of remove my own perceptions of things and look at the world in a much different light.
I have learned conflict resolution, how to effectively, in a sense, de-escalate situations that can be tense, because in the field you're dealing with really intense situations and emotional situations.
Some of the other things that I have learned is basically that everybody has a story, and it's really important to listen to what that story is.
I can learn through visual and audio in the classroom, but not nearly as well as things like the internship program, which is kind of like one of the main focuses of the Human Services program at Western. I've learned that going out and actually getting the experience for yourself from a personal perspective is, I've learned more from that than I have in any other class in my entire life by far.
I have interned for 120 hours with community-to-community development. So I've done some work with the domestic fair trade movement and gotten some experience with the indirect service.
I worked at the Whatcom Peace and Justice Center, and I did social activism and advocacy and just kind of looking at alternatives to war.
I interned again at the Department of Corrections for 6 months. That was an amazing experience. And then I also worked in a group youth home who had a lot of behavioral issues and were really aggressive.
I interned for 2 quarters at Lydia Place. It's a transitional living facility for women with kids, and I worked with their children's program.
I had 2 internships. One was with the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation, where I worked with adults with disabilities and helped them find jobs that fit their individual needs and abilities.
I have interned with the CHORE program, which serves individuals with disabilities, and so I work to connect volunteers to those clients. I'm hoping to do a AmeriCorps program, so I want to travel around the states, and then I'd like to eventually do Peace Corps.
I actually want to get my master's in social work, and they have a joint degree with the Juris Doctorate, so I want to eventually go into human rights law.
I just recently purchased with my partner 18 acres of agricultural land, so I'm hoping within the next 3 years to open a community garden, and I would like it to be for all people, but in particular I would like a section to be for low-income families so that they can have healthy organic food.
I'm going to go into the field of supported employment, where I work with adults with disabilities and support them in finding jobs that fit their individual desires and abilities, and hopefully become a vocational rehabilitation counselor.
I'm going to be looking for work in the field of chemical dependency counseling. I'm going to be going into more classrooms and getting my chemical dependency professional license, and pretty much just doing that.
I would probably advise for them to really explore their options and investigate all the fields of human services. Don't just take everything even though it sounds great. Check it all out for the 2 years that you're here.